So there's a scene that's been generating a lot of buzz, a press room incident that really sparked plenty of controversy, especially with Tim Pool at the center of things.
Yep.
It's like he ended up humiliating himself in front of everyone with his outfit and all that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, look, when you're in a White House press room, there's a kind of expected standard. And here we have Tim Pool in a beanie and sweatshirt, while his counterpart, Caroline Levit, is dressed like, well, almost like a North Korean propagandist with her patriotic
Yeah,
buttons.
exactly. And, it's not just about the clothes, it's the whole narrative. The commentary goes on to say that a failing nation could be measured not only by economic problems, but by allowing a pro-Russia influencer into such an esteemed space.
Mm-hmm. Right. And there's this whole discussion about how Tim Pool was allegedly getting paid $500,000 a month by Russia and then saying he didn't even know it. I mean, isn't that kind of hard to believe?
Yeah, exactly. It's like if someone's being, paid that much money, how do you just accidentally fall into a pro-Russia stance? It's a glaring contradiction.
Yeah, definitely. And then he goes on to make claims about, yep, other news narratives too, like the Maryland Man hoax and comparisons to leaning towards Russia. It really ruffles feathers, doesn't it?
It sure does. Right? And there's this ironic twist where Tim Pool criticizes mainstream media for sort of being biased or playing along with false narratives, yet here he is accused of being compromised himself by Russia. It creates a really messy picture.
Absolutely. I find it especially interesting how the commentary shifts gears to talk about press room dynamics. There's this underlying message that the very fabric of integrity in the press is being eroded by
if
figures
you
like
allow
him.
one person with questionable credibility, it can undermine the whole institution. Now, what's also notable is the mention of how the White House is trying to open up access to a broader range of media sources, but then dismissing outlets like the AP.
Right, right. That's another level of irony. Exactly. It's sort of like they want diversity in viewpoints as long as those viewpoints match a certain narrative. I mean, encouraging diversity, but explicitly excluding some, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Right, and then later our focus shifts to another contentious subject, the management at the Pentagon, specifically around Secretary Hexath. There's a lot of back and forth about leaked information, firings, and the idea of monumental change.
Yeah, it's a whole different kettle of fish. Exactly. And the speaker here is pretty adamant that these changes are positive, even comparing the governance to something almost North Korean in its rigidity, except,
It's wild.
with an American twist.
And what's interesting is how these two strands, the mishandling of press credentials by someone like Tim Pool and these dramatic moves in the Pentagon, become part of a broader narrative about challenging the status quo and questioning who really holds power.
But if I may challenge a bit here, while it's compelling to criticize Tim Pool for his attire and alleged connections, isn't it a bit oversimplified to say that one media figure defines a nation's failure? There are so many layers to it, right?
Yeah, that's a fair critique. Absolutely. I mean, you've got to consider the whole landscape. It's like a mixture of media fragmentation, political agendas, and yes, personal branding. And while one figure might become the symbol of these issues, there's more to the story than just his antics.
Agreed, agreed. And then there's that part where the commentary mentions the mega media space and how its growth is allegedly slowing down, while other channels are rising in influence. It paints a picture of a rebalancing media ecosystem.
Indeed. So in a way, the whole discussion isn't just about one individual, but about a broader media war where credibility, bias, and power are all up for grabs.
Absolutely. And it seems the ultimate call to action is to push back, build a media ecosystem that challenges these narratives. There's a definite rallying cry to engage and reclaim the discourse.
Yes, exactly. It's like a call for reinvention, not just criticizing the flaws, but taking a stand with an alternative, more robust media strategy. But does that really indicate a solution, or just more of the same with even more polarization?
That's the million-dollar question. Right, because while it's easy to point out the contradictions, Beanie Boy versus elitist credentials, the next challenge is how do you build a system where truth and fact rise above all the spin?
Very true. And yeah, if you look at the discussion, it's as if every controversial moment, whether it's Tim Pool's dressing or the Pentagon's alleged mismanagement, serves as a microcosm of a greater shift in political
Absolutely,
and media
it's all
paradigms.
interconnected. So, wrapping up, it's a wild mix, a combination of personal spectacle, alleged corruption, and a fight for media authenticity. All of it screams that something's definitely shifting in our political discourse, don't you think?
Definitely, yeah. Exactly. And while opinions differ, the fact remains that this kind of debate forces us to re-examine what we consider trustworthy in the media ecosystem.
True, true. Well, this discussion certainly leaves us with a lot to chew on. Until next time, keep questioning, keep engaging, and stay informed.
Absolutely.